It is a beautiful morning and I'm going to take a ride. It's summertime and we're going to a place just north of here, about 50-60 miles, called the Gilman Tunnels. This is a wonderful ride. It's a lot of fun, particularly if you're on a motorcycle, but if you're not, it's a fun place to go. So, we'll see you there. I'm starting this ride in the small town of San Ysidro, New Mexico. We are taking Highway New Mexico 4 towards the Jemez Pueblo. We will ride through the Pueblo, then turn off onto New Mexico Highway 485. This road takes us to the Gilman Tunnels and then on through the forest to New Mexico Highway 126. You can see these roads on the map. This is the Jemez Pueblo. The Pueblo has been hit hard by COVID and at the moment is completely closed to outsiders. We'll continue through and we won't be stopping there today. The Jemez Pueblo is rather spread out and takes a while to get through. The travel is slow, but be patient and watch your speed. It is heavily patrolled. After the Pueblo, we turn off onto New Mexico 485. The turn comes shortly after the Pueblo area. It is a little difficult to see and pretty easy to miss. You can see from the Google animation where the turnoff is. Just follow the blue line. I love this road. It is narrow, wonderfully curvy, and is ideal for motorcycles. It's not very long, but it is sure fun to ride. This hasn't always been a road. It started its life as a narrow gauge railroad track built to support a logging operation farther up the mountain. The logging operation was owned by the Porter family. They logged ponderosa pines and transported the logs to Bernalillo, New Mexico for milling. The track was built and the train was operated by Santa Fe Northwestern Railroad. They had to cut 2 tunnels through the narrows of the Guadalupe box. These tunnels were named after the Vice President of Operations for the railroad, William Gilman. If you close your eyes, you can imagine the train steaming through the tunnels. Many motorcycle riders turn around here and go back the same way they came. That's a good ride, but I think it's always fun to continue through the forest. The road turns to gravel shortly beyond the tunnels, but it is well maintained and easy to ride. It traverses an area that was logged. It has since regrown and is a beautiful place for camping, hiking, fishing, and motorcycle riding, of course. I have ridden it several times, and it is a lot of fun. And that's what we're going to do today. In the summer of 1941, there was a large flood that destroyed 2 bridges and several miles of track. They decided not to rebuild the railroad, but instead used trucks to haul the timber. They converted the track to a road and widened the tunnels to accommodate trucks. The business struggled on for many years, but it was marginal, and in the early 1960s it stopped entirely. Much of the land was deeded to the U.S. Forest Service. These tunnels have been used in several movie scenes. The tunnels appear as a mine in the 2007 cowboy movie 3:10 to Yuma. This is the Russell Crowe version of the movie. It is a remake of the 1957 movie with Glenn Ford. The other is the 2015 sci-fi movie Maze Runner: The Scorched Trials. New Mexico is becoming more and more popular for movie making, and many areas around the state have appeared in movies. This is a beautiful area, but I do worry about the future of the forest. The entire area is drying due to climate change, and that makes the forest very vulnerable to fire. Several very large tracts of forest near here have burned in recent years, so it is probably just a matter of time. In the areas that have burned, the forest has either not regrown or has grown very slowly. It has really been dry, and with climate change that will continue. Every year we see forests turn into grasslands. It's sad to say, but New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and California are going to lose much of their forest. Well, sadly, we're coming to the end of the road. This is the intersection of New Mexico 126. If you continue straight across the road, you'll end up at the San Antonio Hot Springs, which is a great place for soaking and relaxing. There is a parking area at the end of the road with a short hike to the spring. If you go to the left, you will pass by Fenton Lake. It's a nice place for fishing and camping. Continuing, the road takes you to Cuba, New Mexico. Part of that road isn't paved, and it's not very well maintained. It's open all year, but in the winter and spring it can be quite muddy. I've ridden it several times in the summer, and it's okay. The unpaved part frequently has deep ruts and is a little bit more difficult to ride than the road we have just ridden. It is pretty, and I think it's well worth the effort, but just be forewarned, it's probably not the easiest ride. Today I'm going to the right. This direction takes us down to New Mexico 4 and on to the Valles Caldera National Preserve, one of the world's largest supervolcanoes, and then on to Bandelier National Monument, an ancient cliff dwelling. It's a super ride the entire way. I really hope you've enjoyed the Gilman Tunnel ride as much as I have. If you get a chance, give it a try. This is a scenic and very beautiful part of New Mexico.